Hello and welcome back to Talk English Now. I'm Sarah, and today we're going to talk about practicing your English step by step from the very first words you might learn as a beginner, all the way to speaking confidently at an advanced level. I want you to feel as if you and I are sitting together right now, having a calm conversation, and I'm guiding you through every step of this journey. When you first begin learning English, everything feels new. Even saying hello can feel like a small victory. So let's start with the very basics. Imagine you meet me for the first time. I say to you, "Hello, how are you?" And you reply with something simple like, "I'm fine, thank you." This little exchange may look small, but it builds the foundation. Each time you practice it, your confidence grows. It's not about being perfect right away. It's about creating comfort with the words. Now, think about simple vocabulary, words for daily life, words like water, food, home, book, friend. These are the building blocks. Without them, sentences cannot stand. So, when you're a beginner, repeat these words slowly. Say them out loud. Water, food, home. Your tongue learns the shape of the sounds, and your mind connects the word with the picture of the thing itself. This practice is powerful. Once you have single words, we can move into short phrases. Try saying, "I want water." "I read a book." "She is my friend." These are small, clear steps. Don't worry about grammar too much at first. Your goal is to communicate meaning. When someone understands you, that is success. Fluency comes later. First, focus on connection. As you move forward, listening becomes very important. Listen to simple English every day. Even if you don't understand everything, your brain is training like a muscle. It starts to hear patterns, rhythms, intonation. When you hear, "How are you?" many times, your brain knows the melody of the question. Then, when it's your turn, the words come out more easily. Practice listening slowly and never feel pressure to catch every word. Now let's imagine a daily conversation. You wake up in the morning, someone asks you, "What did you do today?" You can say, "I woke up early, I brushed my teeth, I had breakfast." Simple sentences, one by one. Don't try to speak fast. Think slowly and clearly. In time, your sentences will naturally connect into longer stories. But at the beginner stage, celebrate small sentences. They are the seeds of your future fluency. Pronunciation is another key. Many learners worry about having an accent. Let me tell you something important. Having an accent is natural, and it is not a problem. What matters is clarity. Can people understand you? If yes, then you are already successful. So instead of trying to sound perfect, focus on practicing the natural sounds. Listen to me now. Cat, cut, caught. Do you hear the small changes in the vowel sounds? Practice repeating them. Shadow my voice if you can. This is how your mouth trains for English sounds. When you reach a little beyond beginner, you begin to add grammar naturally. Don't be afraid of grammar books, but don't let them control you either. Grammar is a tool, not the goal. Think of it like a map. It helps guide you, but the real journey is speaking, listening, and connecting. So when you learn a grammar rule, immediately use it in a sentence about your life. For example, if you learn the present continuous tense, you can say, I am learning English right now. When you make grammar personal, it becomes much easier to remember. At this stage, mistakes will happen, and that's good. Mistakes are proof that you are trying. Imagine a child learning to walk. They fall many times, but each fall brings them closer to walking freely. Your mistakes in English are the same. They are not failures. They are signs of progress. So next time you say something and realize it's not quite right, smile and repeat it again. Each attempt shapes your growth. Now, let's move a little further and think about building confidence in conversations. When you are with a friend, try to extend your answers. If someone asks you, "Do you like music?" instead of saying, "Yes, I do," you can add more detail. "Yes, I do. I like pop music because it makes me feel happy." This extra detail transforms your English from short replies to flowing conversation. It gives the other person more to respond to, and suddenly you're in a real exchange. Practice like this daily. Even talk to yourself. Describe what you're doing. Say, I am cooking rice. I am walking to the bus. I am writing a message. When you narrate your life in English, you turn your daily routine into practice time. It may feel strange at first, but soon it becomes a habit, and habits build fluency quietly in the background. So, from the beginning, focus on small words, short sentences, clear sounds, and daily repetition. These are your roots. And when your roots are strong, your English can grow higher and stronger with time. Now let's move gently into the next stage of learning, the intermediate level. This is where things become exciting, because you already know how to form simple sentences, and now you can begin to shape your thoughts in more complex ways. Instead of just saying, I went to the park, you can say, I went to the park yesterday afternoon, and I walked slowly while listening to music. You see how the details bring your sentence alive. And that is the power of moving from beginner to intermediate. One of the best practices here is learning phrasal verbs. They are a natural part of daily English, and native speakers use them constantly. Let me give you a few examples. Pick up, as in, I picked up the phone. Turn on, as in, can you turn on the light? Look after, as in, she looks after her little brother. These small 2-word or 3-word phrases may seem simple, but they carry so much meaning. When you use them naturally, your English starts to sound much more fluent and authentic. Another step at the intermediate stage is learning to connect ideas smoothly. In beginner English, you might say, I like coffee. I drink it every day. It gives me energy. In intermediate English, you can link those sentences with connecting words. I like coffee because it gives me energy, so I drink it every day. These connecting words, because, so, although, however, become bridges that connect your thoughts, and they make your English feel more natural. Listening at this level is also a challenge. Now you are ready to listen to faster speech. movies, TV shows, podcasts, conversations, but don't expect to understand everything at once. Pick one short piece and listen several times. Each time, more words become clear. Also, practice shadowing. Listen to a short line and then repeat it immediately, copying the rhythm, the intonation, the pauses. This is one of the fastest ways to improve your fluency and pronunciation together. Now let's talk about vocabulary. As you move forward, your vocabulary must grow beyond simple daily words. Start to learn words for emotions, opinions, and descriptions. For example, instead of just saying, "I am happy," you can say, "I am excited," or "I am satisfied." Instead of saying, "The food is good," you can say, "The food is delicious, it's flavorful, it's rich." These words paint a clearer picture in the listener's mind, and they help you express yourself more exactly. A useful exercise is to choose one topic each day and collect words around it. If the topic is travel, you can learn words like suitcase, boarding pass, luggage, airport, flight, destination. Then practice making sentences with them. I packed my suitcase last night. I showed my boarding pass at the gate. My flight was delayed. This focused practice keeps your vocabulary active and ready to use in real situations. Intermediate learners also face a challenge with tenses, the past simple, present perfect, past continuous, and so on. Don't let these scare you. Focus on how they are used in real life. For example, the difference between "I saw that movie last week" and "I have seen that movie before." The first is about a specific time, the second is about experience. Instead of memorizing long rules, think about the feeling each tense carries. When you practice it in daily examples, the rules become easier to remember. Another powerful tool is questions. Practice asking good questions, not just giving answers. When you ask, "What do you think about this?" or "How did you feel when that happened?" you create deeper conversations. Asking questions makes you an active partner in communication, not just a listener. And this skill builds real confidence in speaking. Speaking of confidence, many learners at this stage feel nervous about making mistakes in front of others. But remember, our confidence is not about being perfect. Confidence is about being willing to try, even when you are unsure. Each time you speak, you are practicing bravery. And with each try, your English grows stronger. So speak more, not less. Even when you feel shy, open your mouth and let the words come. I want you to imagine this. You are in a cafe and someone asks you, "What do you do?" As a beginner, you might answer simply, "I study." But as an intermediate learner, you can expand. "I'm studying English because I want to travel and meet people from different countries." This longer answer shows more of your personality and gives the other person more to connect with. This is how conversations start to feel real, meaningful, and enjoyable. Keep practicing every day, even in small ways. Watch a short video, read a simple article, write a paragraph about your day, or speak out loud to yourself. Consistency is more important than long hours once in a while. A few minutes daily builds the habit, and the habit builds fluency. And before we go further, let me pause here and remind you of something important. If you're enjoying this lesson, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more daily English practice. Your support helps me keep creating these lessons for you, and it means a lot. Now, let's continue together. Now, let's go even deeper into the journey. You've built your foundation, you've stepped into intermediate fluency, and now you're moving closer to advanced English. This is where your language becomes more colorful, more precise, and more flexible. It's no longer just about being understood, it's about expressing yourself with clarity, nuance, and style. At the advanced stage, one of the most important practices is learning to think in English. When you were a beginner, you probably translated from your native language to English. That's natural. But as you grow, translation slows you down. Advanced learners work on training the brain to create thoughts directly in English. One way to practice this is to choose a simple situation and describe it only in English in your head. For example, when you're cooking dinner, instead of thinking in your native language, you tell yourself, "I'm chopping onions, I'm adding salt, the water is boiling." It feels simple, but it trains your mind to skip translation and go straight to English. Another skill to build is paraphrasing. Advanced speakers can say the same idea in different ways. For example, if someone doesn't understand when you say, "I'm exhausted," you can rephrase and say, "I'm very tired," or "I don't have any energy." Practicing paraphrasing not only makes you a flexible speaker, it also helps you feel less nervous when you forget a word, because you always have another way to explain your idea. This is a true sign of fluency. At this level, you also start focusing on natural rhythm and stress. English is a stress-timed language. This means some words are stressed strongly and others are weak. Listen to me. I want to go to the park today. Do you hear how want and park are strong? The other words are softer. Practicing this rhythm makes your English sound smooth and natural. Without rhythm, even correct grammar can sound flat. But with rhythm, your speech feels alive and engaging. Now, let's talk about advanced vocabulary. It's not just about learning long, complicated words. It's about choosing the right word for the right moment. Instead of always saying good, you might say remarkable, outstanding, or impressive, depending on the situation. Instead of saying bad, you might say terrible, unpleasant, or disappointing. Each choice paints a slightly different picture. Learning these shades of meaning helps you sound more accurate and confident. Remember, advanced vocabulary is not about showing off. It's about expressing yourself more clearly. Idioms and expressions also belong here. Native speakers use them every day. For example, "It's raining cats and dogs" means it's raining heavily. "Break the ice" means to start a friendly conversation. "Hit the nail on the head" means to be exactly right. When you use idioms naturally, you sound more like a native speaker. But be careful. Don't use too many at once. Choose one or two and practice them in real situations until they feel natural. Over time, They become part of your speaking style. At this stage, your listening practice should also expand. Instead of only listening to educational materials, challenge yourself with real-life English, news reports, debates, movies without subtitles, podcasts on topics you enjoy. Advanced listening is not only about understanding words, it's about catching tone, attitude, and hidden meaning. Sometimes people don't say exactly what they mean, but you can hear it in their voice. This deeper listening skill makes your conversations richer and more authentic. Reading is another important practice. As an advanced learner, read books, articles, and stories in English. Don't limit yourself to language textbooks. Real-world reading exposes you to how English is truly used. Notice how writers use words, how they build sentences, how they create flow. And try to bring those patterns into your own speaking and writing. Even a few minutes of reading daily will shape your language in powerful ways. Writing practice at this level also helps you organize your thoughts. Try keeping a journal in English. Write about your day, your feelings, your opinions on world events. Writing allows you to slow down and think carefully about vocabulary and grammar. It's like a mirror that shows you what you really know, and when you review what you've written later, you'll see your progress clearly. That feeling of progress is motivating and keeps you going. Another advanced skill is storytelling. Being able to tell a story from beginning to end with clear details, emotions, and structure is a sign of strong fluency. Practice telling stories about your past experiences, like a funny memory with friends or a time you faced a challenge. Include details, emotions, and lessons you learned. For example, instead of just saying, "I traveled to Paris," you can say, "Last summer, I traveled to Paris. I remember walking along the Seine at night, with the lights of the city reflecting in the water. It felt magical." This way, your English becomes not just correct, but also beautiful. Of course, reaching advanced English takes time, but remember, it's not about speed, it's about steady progress. Think of it like climbing a mountain. Each step may feel small, but together they carry you to the top, and every bit of practice adds to your strength. So when you feel tired or stuck, remind yourself you are already further than when you began, and that itself is success. One last thing here, never stop practicing the basics. Advanced learners sometimes forget to review simple vocabulary and grammar, but strong English means keeping your foundation solid. Even advanced speakers return to simple practice, repeating short sentences, practicing clear pronunciation, reviewing tenses. Because mastery is not about moving past the basics. It's about carrying them with you while you grow. Now let's focus more closely on fluency practice. Fluency is not just about knowing words, it's about speaking smoothly and confidently without long pauses. One of the best ways to build fluency is shadowing. Shadowing means listening to a sentence and immediately repeating it with the same rhythm and tone. For example, if I say, "I'm going to the store later," you repeat right after me, "I'm going to the store later." Don't worry if it's not perfect at first. The goal is to train your mouth and your ear together. Do this daily, even for a few minutes, and you will see a big difference. Another way to practice fluency is role play. Imagine you are in a restaurant and you want to order food. Say out loud, "Excuse me, may I see the menu, please?" Then imagine the waiter asks, "What would you like to drink?" And you answer, "I'd like a glass of water, please." By practicing these small role plays, you prepare yourself for real conversations. And when the real situation happens, your brain already knows what to say. It feels natural. Fluency also grows when you repeat phrases many times. Choose one phrase and practice it in different ways. For example, take "I don't know." Say it slowly. "I don't know." Say it quickly. "I don't know." Add emotion. "I don't know." Play with the phrase. This kind of repetition builds flexibility and comfort, so when you need it in conversation, it comes out easily. Now let's talk about pronunciation more deeply. English has many sounds that may not exist in your native language. For example, the th sound in words like think or this. Practice slowly by placing your tongue gently between your teeth and blowing air for th in think. Then for this, add your voice. Th. Repeat slowly until it feels comfortable. Don't rush. Pronunciation improves with patient practice. Intonation is also important. Intonation is the rise and fall of your voice. It shows meaning and emotion. Listen to these examples. If I say, "Really?" with rising intonation, it means surprise. If I say, "Really?" with falling intonation, it means I'm sure. The words are the same, but the intonation changes the meaning. Practicing intonation will help your English sound more natural and expressive. Now, let's imagine another conversation practice. You're meeting a friend after a long time. You say, "It's so good to see you again." They reply, "Yes, it's been a while." You continue, "How have you been?" They answer, "I've been busy with work, but things are going well." You respond, "That's great to hear." These natural exchanges are what fluency feels like. Short, smooth, connected sentences. Practice them until they flow easily. Another area to work on is expressing opinions. At beginner level, you might only say, "I like it," or "I don't like it." But as you grow, try expanding. "I like it because it makes me feel relaxed," or "I don't like it since it's too complicated for me." Adding reasons makes your speech richer, and it prepares you for longer conversations. Practice with many topics: music, movies, food, travel. Say what you think and why you think it. This is a strong step toward advanced fluency. You should also practice reacting naturally. In real conversations, people don't always wait politely. Sometimes they interrupt, sometimes they add comments. So practice short reactions like, "Really? That's interesting." "I see." "Exactly." These small words keep the conversation alive and show you're engaged. Try using them when you listen to English videos. pause and react out loud as if you're part of the conversation. This will make you feel more active in real interactions. Let's also talk about speed. Many learners think fluency means speaking fast, but fluency actually means speaking smoothly and clearly. It's okay to pause. Pauses give you time to think, and they make your speech more natural. Listen to native speakers. They also pause often. The key is to pause without breaking the flow. Practice speaking slowly but steadily, like water flowing in a river. In time, your natural speed will increase. Confidence is closely connected to fluency. When you feel nervous, words freeze. When you feel relaxed, words flow. So, build confidence by practicing every day, even in small ways. Talk to yourself in English, record your voice and listen back. Join conversations online or in person. Each small step makes the next step easier. And remember, nobody speaks perfectly all the time, not even native speakers. What matters is communication, not perfection. Finally, always celebrate your progress. Look back at where you started. Remember when saying hello felt difficult? Now you can have full conversations, express opinions, tell stories. That is real growth. Be proud of every step and keep moving forward with patience and joy. Let's move into more advanced practice activities that will take your English from strong to truly powerful. One of the best ways to do this is to practice debate and discussion. Don't worry, you don't need to argue or fight with anyone. Debate simply means expressing your opinion, listening to another opinion, and responding thoughtfully. For example, imagine someone says, "Technology is making life too complicated." You can respond, "I understand your point, but I think technology also saves us time and connects us with people far away." By practicing this back-and-forth style, you learn how to defend your ideas and stay calm under pressure. This is excellent training for advanced communication. Another useful skill is summarizing, being able to take a long story or article and explain it briefly in your own words. This shows you really understand what you read or heard. For example, if you watch a news video about climate change, instead of repeating every detail, you can say, "The video explained that global temperatures are rising quickly and countries need to reduce pollution." Practice summarizing short texts, then longer ones. This will improve both your listening and your speaking at the same time. Advanced English also requires learning nuance. Nuance means the small differences in meaning that can change the feeling of your words. Think about these two sentences. "She is cheap," and "she is careful with money." Both describe someone who doesn't spend much, but the first sounds negative and the second sounds positive. Learning these differences helps you avoid misunderstandings, and it gives you more control over how you sound. At this level, it's also helpful to practice formal and informal English. Sometimes you need polite, professional language, like in a job interview, and sometimes you need casual, friendly language, like when chatting with friends. For example, in a job interview, you might say, "I am highly motivated and eager to learn new skills." But with a friend, you might say, "I'm really excited to try new things." The meaning is similar, but the style is different. Practicing both styles gives you flexibility in different situations. Another practice is learning to describe emotions and experiences with detail. Instead of only saying, "I was happy," you can say, "I felt a wave of joy when I saw my friend walk into the room." Instead of, "It was sad," you can say, "It broke my heart to watch the movie's ending." These rich descriptions make your English sound alive and emotional. They connect you more deeply with listeners. At this stage, reading and listening to stories is powerful. Stories are natural for humans. They show how language flows, how emotions are expressed, how events connect. Read novels, listen to audiobooks, watch movies, and then retell the stories in your own words. Don't worry about remembering every detail. Focus on the main events and the feelings. This kind of practice strengthens your memory, your fluency, and your imagination all at once. Let's also look at cultural awareness. Advanced English is not just about grammar and words, it's about culture too. For example, in English-speaking countries, people often use small talk before serious conversations. They might talk about the weather, sports, or the weekend. If you jump directly into a serious topic, it can feel strange. So practice small talk phrases. "It's such a beautiful day today, isn't it?" "Did you see the game last night?" These phrases may seem simple, but they open doors to smoother conversations. Another advanced practice is learning humor and sarcasm. This can be tricky, but it's a sign of real fluency. For example, if it's raining heavily and someone says, "What a lovely day," they are being sarcastic. They don't really mean lovely. They mean the opposite. Humor and sarcasm add richness to conversations, but they take time to master. So be patient, listen carefully, and try using them when you feel ready. Finally, remember that advanced English is not the end. It's a stage where you can always keep growing. Even native speakers learn new words every day, discover new ways to express themselves, and improve their communication. So don't think of advanced English as a finish line. Think of it as a door that opens to a lifetime of learning, connection, and discovery. Now, let's practice some real-life advanced conversation scenarios together. Imagine you are in a job interview. The interviewer asks, "Tell me about yourself." As a beginner, you might only say, "I am a student. I study English." But now, you can expand. "I am currently studying English, and I'm very interested in international communication. I enjoy learning new skills and working with people from different backgrounds." Do you see how the longer answer not only shares facts, but also shows personality? This is what advanced speaking looks like. Another situation. You are at a dinner party, and someone asks, "What do you think about the future of technology?" Instead of saying, "It's good," you can say, I think technology has many benefits, like improving healthcare and education, but it also creates challenges, such as privacy concerns. Overall, I believe we need balance. This kind of answer shows critical thinking and balanced perspective. Advanced learners practice giving opinions with reasons, examples, and balance. Now let's imagine travel. You're at the airport, and your flight is delayed. You might say to the staff, "Excuse me, could you tell me when the flight will depart?" If they say, "We're not sure yet," you can politely continue, "I understand. Could you let me know if there are any updates soon? I really appreciate your help." Polite, professional language like this is important in real situations, and practicing it gives you confidence in emergencies. Another example. Imagine you are meeting people at an international conference. Someone says, "So, what brought you here today?" You could answer, "I came to learn more about communication in education. I'm really interested in how technology can help people connect across cultures." Notice how this type of answer is not too short. It opens the door to more conversation. When you give details, people naturally ask more questions, and the conversation flows. Advanced practice also includes negotiation. Imagine you're buying something in a market. You might say, "This is a beautiful piece. Is there any chance you could offer a discount?" If the seller says, "No, the price is fixed," you can reply, "I understand. Thank you for letting me know. I'll think about it." Even if you don't get the discount, you practiced polite negotiation language. This is valuable in business and daily life alike. Now let's practice storytelling again, because storytelling is at the heart of communication. I want you to imagine telling a story about a childhood memory. You might say, "When I was a child, I used to ride my bike in the neighborhood every evening. One day I fell off and scraped my knee badly. At first I cried, but then I learned how to get back on the bike and keep going. That small experience taught me not to give up easily." Stories like this show emotion, growth, and lessons learned. They are not only interesting, but also powerful for practicing English. Another advanced scenario is explaining complex ideas. Simply, imagine someone asks you, "Can you explain how social media works?" You can say, "Social media is a system of online platforms where people create and share information. It's like a giant meeting place where anyone can post photos, videos, or messages, and other people can respond instantly." Notice how clear and simple the explanation is. Even though the idea is complex, practicing this skill makes you a better communicator in English and in any language. Also, practice expressing uncertainty politely. In advanced conversations, it's okay not to know everything. You can say, "I'm not sure about that, but I think," or "That's a good question, I'll need to check," or "I don't know much about this topic, but here's what I've heard." These phrases keep the conversation flowing without making you feel pressured, and they show maturity and confidence because it takes confidence to admit when you don't know something. Finally, advanced English practice means preparing yourself for different accents. English is spoken all over the world. You will hear American, British, Australian, Canadian, Indian, Nigerian, and many more accents. Don't focus only on one. Listen widely. Train your ear to recognize different sounds. This way, you can communicate with anyone, anywhere. And that is the true goal of learning English, to connect with people across the globe. Now, as we come to the end of this lesson together, I want to bring all the pieces together. From beginner to advanced, your journey in English is not a straight line. It is a circle, a spiral, a path that repeats and grows. You start with words, then sentences, then conversations, then stories. And at each new stage, you still return to the basics, practicing pronunciation, repeating phrases, listening carefully. This cycle makes your English stronger every day. Remember, fluency is built step by step. You don't wake up one day and suddenly speak like a native speaker. You build fluency the same way you build strength in your body, through daily exercise, reading, listening, speaking, writing. All of these are your workouts. Sometimes it feels slow, but each moment adds up. And when you look back, you'll realize how far you've come. I also want you to remember something very important. Your English does not need to be perfect to be powerful. Many learners feel afraid of mistakes, but mistakes are the bridges to learning. Each one teaches you something new, and often people will understand you even when your grammar isn't perfect. What they care about is your message, your energy, your willingness to connect. That is the real purpose of language, to connect human to human. So as you continue practicing, be gentle with yourself. When you forget a word, pause, smile, and try again. When you make a grammar error, correct yourself and keep moving. When you feel nervous, take a deep breath and speak anyway. Every time you choose to try, you are building courage, and courage is what carries you to fluency. Now, let me give you one final practice exercise. Think of your day today, from morning until now. Try to describe it in English. Say out loud, I woke up at 7. I brushed my teeth. I made coffee. I started my work. Then expand it. I woke up at 7 because I wanted to exercise. I brushed my teeth quickly since I was running late. I made strong coffee because I was tired. I started my work with a video call. This is how you grow from beginner to advanced, by taking simple sentences and slowly making them richer, more detailed, more expressive. As you practice, also imagine future situations. What will you say at the airport, at a job interview, at a party, in a meeting, on a date? Play these situations in your mind and speak them out loud. This mental rehearsal prepares you for real life. So when the real moment arrives, you'll feel ready and confident. Practice is not only for now, it's also for the future. Before we close, I want to say thank you. Thank you for spending this time with me, for listening, for practicing, for believing in yourself. I know learning English is not always easy. There are days when you feel stuck, days when you feel tired. But remember, every small effort is building a stronger you. Keep going, keep practicing, and trust the process. You are doing better than you think. And one last reminder. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss future lessons. Your journey in English is just beginning, and I'll be here to guide you every step of the way. You are capable, you are growing, and you are on the path to fluency. Believe in yourself and keep moving forward. I'll see you in the next lesson.